After more than 1 year of limited or no face-to-face classes, many children across Guyana will return to face-to-face engagement geared at ensuring they can recover from the learning loss that might have taken place during the pandemic. At a press conference held by the Ministry of Education at the National Centre for Educational Research Development, NCERD, it was announced that some schools will reopen fully, while others will allow children to come to schools on a rotational basis. For the youngest children, those who are attending or scheduled to attend nursery schools, special provisions have been put in place. This was related by Samantha Williams, the Assistant Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for nursery schools.
41 of our 348 nursery schools will open their doors to full face-to-face engagement for learners, while the other 307 will operate on a rotation system. This rotation system will see Year 1 and Year 2 learners attending school on different days during the week. We have decided to allow our children to be at school for no less than 4 hours per week. We believe that the 4-hour instruction, along with the parental support, will be adequate to help our children to acquire those basic early literacy, numeracy, and life skills. On the return to school, the ratio of teacher to pupils should not exceed 1 teacher to 5 learners. And this is to ensure that we can supervise our children as we provide that necessary instruction that is needed.
Meanwhile, adequate social distancing capabilities and the integration of safety requirements to protect children and teachers from the disease COVID-19 has fully guided the full reopening of 44 primary schools. The other 413 primary schools will operate on a rotational basis. But Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hudson says that it is likely that all grade 6 pupils will have to attend face-to-face classes more regularly to prepare for the National Grade 6 Assessment (NGSA) next year.
I want to single out grade 6 in particular. We have made the move for grade 6 because of the nature of the class, and it's an examination class. They will be attending school in most cases for the entire week, every day. And of course they will be, as Ms. Waldron made mention of the fact that they will be working with the consolidated curriculum at the level of grade 5. And so safety first, safety in the middle, safety at the end, and that is why we have the rotational system.
And finally, 7 secondary schools will be reopened for all grade levels, while the remaining 126 secondary schools will be reopened on a rotational basis. But the reopening of these schools will be done in tandem with the vaccination rollout. This is according to Junan Gonzalez, the Assistant Chief Education Officer for Secondary.
At the secondary level, 2 modalities will be utilized for the reopening of schools, which vary across the country and across regions based on the school's location, capacity, enrollment, and the number of teachers on the teaching staff. It is compulsory that students from grades 9 to 13 to attend face-to-face sessions to ensure that there is coverage for the examination curriculum, completion of all SBAs, and completion of SCCP and CVQ practicums.
Importantly, the vaccination rollout for children aged 12 to 18, a majority of whom attend secondary schools, started on Thursday. These children will be receiving the US-made and donated Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines, which have been given emergency use authorization for the age group. A schedule for the rollout of these vaccines in various schools has been released on the Ministry of Education's Facebook page. The schools that have been granted permission to reopen for full face-to-face classes or on a rotational basis will be listed on the Ministry of Education's Facebook page and will be published in the media. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Raghavir.